On this episode, we're talking about our favorite snacks at Walt Disney World. Today is January 7th, 2022, and this is episode 424 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I'm your host, Jeremy Stein, and I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey, guys.
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at MainStMagic. If you have not done so already, go out to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join. And then if you hit that subscribe button, you'll get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. But if you want even more content, including in-park, resort, at-home live streams, we will be heading down for the 3-day weekend for Festival of the Arts. We get discounts on Main Street Magic merchandise and a whole lot more. Visit wonderlandcrew.com and check out our Patreon group. And then finally, if you're getting ready to plan that 2022 or 2023 vacation to Disney, Universal, maybe go on a cruise or pretty much travel anywhere else in the world, visit msmears.com to learn more about our wonderful travel partner, Melissa Pilgrim, with years of experience, and fill out a form for a free quote. Now, before we talk Disney World snacks today, I did want to just make one update from the last episode, and then I will leave Finnegan's alone, I promise. But I actually ended up realizing, and I had meant to mention this, is that when discussing the shepherd's pie that Rhonda had, it was made with beef only, which would more traditionally be considered a cottage pie, whereas a shepherd's pie would contain lamb as well.
Because they actually have cottage pie, I believe, over in the Harry Potter.
Yeah, I believe they are labeling it cottage pie if you go over to like Three Broomsticks and all, because it is all beef. So just a little thing I wanted to update. And then Rhonda reminded me, and I don't want to rob you guys of one of my hilarious jokes, and I completely forgot it last episode, but I will wrap up our review completely by saying Finnegan's more like never again's. Nothing. Am I getting anything? I got a little bit of a snort.
Okay,
all right. Well, let's leave them alone. We will eat there again. You have been tasked with getting the Reuben sandwich next time. Apparently, it is delicious.
I love a Reuben,
and I just don't eat the stuff in Reuben sandwiches. So we'll do that next time. We'll go back. We'll give them another shot for sure. But today we are back at Disney World, and we are talking about our favorite snacks.
Okay.
We put this question out in our Facebook community, and first we're going to discuss a little bit about like what makes a snack. You know, I think some of them are very easy. Pretzels, ice cream, Mickey bar, like those are understandably snacks. Mm-hmm. But I think we're going to draw a fine line on some. What do you consider a snack at a theme park, not at home?
Maybe something I can hold with one hand.
Okay. All right.
Because
I can hold a steak with one hand.
Okay.
Is a steak a snack?
Maybe. And with no sides.
No sides. So that's going to be kind of our determination.
So like the cheeseburger pods over at Satellite Canteen, they do come with chips, which is a side, but they are small and you can pick them up with your one little hand.
Right. But we're going to classify that as a meal.
Correct. Because
it comes with a side. Okay.
Yes.
So that's going to be our first clarification on what is a snack. So steak does not count because it comes with a side. Right?
Correct.
Even though I can pick it up with one hand.
You'd pick up a steak with one hand, seriously.
Yeah. Mashed potatoes. You can pick up mashed potatoes with one hand.
No.
That could just make it a snack.
No.
Like, I don't know. Okay, another discussion we actually ended up having in our group with Kat and Michael and Nick and Jossie that we text all day, because I then kind of posed the question to them, what is your favorite place, I think, for snacks?
Right.
And so determination there, we are going to look more at kind of more individualized items, while a place like the Patisserie is a wonderful place for plenty of snacks.
Yes.
It's not going to go on our list of best snacks in a sense, or caramel couche, that I like to pronounce it, or the confectionery on Main Street. These are places you can go and you can get several wonderful snacks, but we're going to talk a little bit more individually about kind of our favorites.
Okay.
Dessert counts, right? As long as it falls under these parameters.
As long as you can pick it up with one hand.
And dessert's not going to come with a side.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not getting a
True.
dessert side. Also, we're looking at more like walk-up kiosks and quick service as opposed to just getting, just say, appetizers, I think could almost be considered snacks otherwise. You brought up churros at Three Bridges. Well, yes, you might go there, sit down at the bar, just get a drink, and get a snack of churros.
Yes.
We're not going to count a sit-down place in determining our list. I'd say we'll do a whole separate, maybe app/dessert if we haven't done one. I don't know. Or maybe that's what we do is we do like best bites in another episode, which would include sit-down places where you might just grab a drink and then like a small something to eat. Right?
Okay. Yes.
Is that fair?
Sure.
Do you have anything to add to our determinations?
I was just going to say, though, I mean, the whole churro thing, we're not putting that on because we don't like them, but
they're not making the cut.
Like the
right.
Three Bridges ones.
Yeah, in-park churros are not making this list.
No.
Because we do not feel that they are good. Yet you can go somewhere like Three Bridges, Nomad Lounge.
And
they
get good
are
ones.
very good.
Yeah.
A turkey leg for us is not making the
man,
cut.
you can totally eat that with one hand.
You can, and it doesn't come with a side.
Snack.
So it is a snack, but we're talking about our favorite snacks.
Yeah. We had one before.
One.
One.
In our
And one
history
time.
of Disney, which is a pretty long one, with many visits, we have had a turkey leg once, and we sat over there at Tortuga Tavern and ordered it. And the four of us just sat around and just gnawed on it like greasy cavemen for 30-45 minutes.
Kind of. It was hard because there's a lot of cartilage in their legs. I don't know if anybody knew that.
I'll be honest, that's my only knock against them. I actually think that the meat portion is delicious. I like that it's almost that crispy, like outside it's almost like shellacked. You know what I mean? And it has a good like pull to it. The meat is very, very good. It's flavorful. It's smoky. I actually love the flavor of turkey legs. I just hate the process of them because there's all of that like cartilage and stringiness to it. And they're near impossible to eat for me. And they like, if you're walking around the park, like all those juices are just like running down your arm. And it's one of those, it's hard to eat without looking kind of like just a cave person. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a hard one to eat, like without it looking almost semi-embarrassing. Like hot dogs and bananas would also go in my list of those things.
Oh my goodness.
So we're not ranking these. We actually made a giant list. We had a lot of great recommendations in the Facebook group in the community when we asked out there. We narrowed ours down to 15.
Okay.
And we'll kind of just talk about them. But we didn't want to rank them because I think we both agreed on one day, depending on what you're truly craving. And it might be salty. It might be sweet. It might be, savory. Almost determines on what the best snack is that day.
I agree.
For you. So we didn't want to say this is number one.
Right.
Because it might not always be. Right.
Right.
So we're going to kind of these are in a little bit of a random order. We did try and save some of the classics, I think, for towards the end. But what is our first one that can be found in Avatar, the land of Avatar?
The Pongo Lumpia, which is the
They're pineapple cream cheese lumpia
wrap.
egg rolls. Some people think of these as egg rolls, but it is more of a lumpia.
Good.
Yeah. So you like these, right?
Yeah, I do.
And you're not bigg on warm pineapple?
It's not really that warm
because there's not chunks of pineapple.
Maybe? I don't know. It's really good.
I think these are great. They're delicious. They pair really well with either the green beer or a night blossom. Rhonda and I had a conversation. Is a night blossom a snack?
No.
Because you claim, what was your claim that it does not do it as a snack, but it's considered a beverage?
Drink because you drink it with a straw.
Not eat it with a spoon. And I think that's a fair clarification because we're going to come up to some others that I think could go either way sometimes.
No, you have to eat it with a spoon.
Yeah. Well, if you have not had the Pongo Lumpia, go get it.
Yeah,
it is absolutely delicious, crispy, fresh, and you're right. It's not like super hot inside. It's kind of warm. To me, it feels more like a breakfast style snack for whatever reason.
But
Maybe it's just the warm
sweeter
cream
side,
cheese.
probably because of the pineapple
it really could be a dessert.
Cream cheese. I would almost put it under a
whipped
dessert.
cream on top of this.
It is?
Or no, I'm saying if you put whipped cream or a big scoop of vanilla ice cream on top,
then it's
you
not
go
a
straight
snack.
into the dessert. Why would that not be a snack then?
You can't
that's
pick it
not a
up by
side.
Well, I guess you'd have to be using a spoon.
Yeah, but that's fine. There's other ones that you're not going. You're going to have to require a spoon.
Yeah, that's true.
Next, we're going to go into because I think one of the things too that we also discussed about what qualify as a snack is if well, we'll talk about when we get to the specific items. Gideon's cookies as a snack.
Yes.
And I would claim you could eat one of these cookies as a meal.
They
But
are big.
we finally
God,
had
they're
them because
delicious.
Rachel was so nice to pick them up for us.
Rachel, yes,
What did
thank
you think? And what were some of the ones that we had that you really enjoyed? I can't remember the specific ones we had, but I remember every single one being fabulous.
Oh yeah, they were more like air quote unquote Halloweeny. Like
Yeah.
there was, I think, a Bride of Frankenstein. There was
I think it was a Frankenstein. There was, I really can't remember, but gosh, they were delicious.
A peanut butter, I'm pretty sure, and chocolate.
Yeah.
Or maybe just peanut butter. I really don't remember either, but I remember I've never had a better cookie, and I really want to stand in line and get more.
Yeah.
So
it's one of those that all the hype, all the everything, I was thinking this really can't be that great. First of all, to me, visually, they look like something you want to take a picture of, but I don't think you're going to get a cookie an inch thick.
And
that
be
is
still
be moist and soft. These are.
Yeah, good.
Looking at them, you're thinking, all right, this is going to be so rich that I can't take more than one bite. Nope, you can eat a whole cookie. Like, I was blown away how good these were. I really didn't think they were going to live up to the hype, and they 100% do. Mm-hmm. Highly, highly recommend those.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a good discussion one that we came up with. Our side clarification is a Ronto wrap. Yeah. Either breakfast or the lunch.
Yep.
This is a snack. You can pick it up with one hand. But there's no side. If this came with chips, this can't make our list.
Right.
But it doesn't. Breakfast or lunch?
Always breakfast.
Yeah. I actually don't love the lunch one.
I don't either.
I'm not a big fan of the slaw. Yep. And I think the pork in it often is just, it's not very tender. But the breakfast one, so good.
Yeah, love it.
And I feel like, too.
And I could eat that one all day.
Oh, 100%. And I think it's one that this is where my clarification was. In the morning, if I eat a whole one, I'm considering that a meal in sense because it's my breakfast.
Right.
But often you and I split one and then I feel like it's a snack.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I also think that a Ronto wrap is one of the easiest recipes to make at home.
Oh, yeah.
With a few very simple ingredients that you can pick up the store.
They're
I mean, you're talking that Stonefire naan bread.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking the ranch peppercorn Hidden Valley dressing. You're talking the Kanuatra. What is the sausage? You know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
You're talking that sausage, and you're talking a little bit of shredded cheddar cheese. You have 4 ingredients, and it tastes just like the Parks. Sometimes better. Good. We actually would get the spicy Chipotle ranch dressing from Hidden Valley for a little extra kick. It was very, very good. All right, let's move on to another one that I think falls kind of like the Ronto wraps. And what are we talking about at Sleepy Hollow? Because it doesn't come with the side, but this could certainly be a meal.
I thought I said no to this. You can't pick this up with one hand.
Yeah, you can.
The waffle sandwich?
Yeah, the waffle sandwiches. If you really try and you believe in yourself,
okay,
you can pick this up with one hand.
That is a giant.
But here's how I would see it.
Whole full waffle.
You get it. You cut it in half. And you pick that half up with your hand and snack on it.
So then you're obviously splitting with somebody. It has to be split.
Well, again, that's like the Ronto wrap. If I eat this whole thing myself, this is a meal. But we never have eaten a whole one ourselves. This is pretty hefty. I bet it's a good 6-ounce flattened fried chicken breast.
No, I mean, this is
slaw,
this
a
is
full
bigger.
waffle. Oh, yeah.
I was
this
saying
is
the
bigger than
Ronto wrap is smaller.
100%. Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, this would have to be.
But under your standards, it qualifies as a snack. It doesn't come with chips or anything. That's what would take it out. And you can pick this up with one hand.
We're going to order it.
Okay.
And we're going to see if you...
Well, and if I can just pick it up with one hand, I just would hold it underneath it, under like the butt portion. You would call it like the middle, just hold the whole thing like that, and then you just gnaw on each end.
No, okay.
I'm not saying it's not going to end up all over the place, but I think you could accomplish it. Our next one is another one that if you eat a whole one of these, I do believe this is your breakfast and it's a meal. In fact, this could feed a family of 4, I think. What are we talking about at Gaston's?
The cinnamon rolls.
Ooh.
They are giant and I would assume amazing.
Yeah.
We've never eaten one in the parks, which
we
need
actually
to.
Haven't.
Because we have now done twice Ashley Craft's
Yeah.
from her book, this Gaston cinnamon rolls, and they're better than Cinnabon.
They are.
They are fantastic.
They are. I mean, I'm not kidding. I mean, Ashley herself, obviously, but anybody who follows those directions perfectly, I think could open a local cinnamon bun store and put Cinnabon out of business if there was one nearby. That's how good they are.
Yeah, I almost agree.
I think you could also fall under this, though, like getting at the Starbucks on Main Street, the Mickey cinnamon rolls.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those two could be, by our standards, are considered a snack.
Yeah.
And very, very good, actually. Now, those don't have that ooey gooey tender factor of Gaston's, but they're still very, very good.
So then would you consider snacks out of there? Because like the Starbucks, they have cookies, they have like specials where they have the
again, I
50th.
think these aren't showing up, but anything, we talked about the patisserie earlier. I think everything in there could be considered a snack. I think any cupcake can be considered a snack. I think, we've never had it, but like when, I don't know if they still have it. The Trolley Car Cafe had the carrot cake cookie. Like that's a snack.
Okay.
We obviously are excluding festival food booths in this because every single one of those could technically be considered a snack.
Well, it's snack eligible too.
Yes, they are. So that's
by Disney standards.
When the dining plan is around. Funnel cake, I am thinking of in the American Pavilion, the funnel cake stand.
Yeah.
I'd
say yes.
One of our favorites.
Yeah.
And we always split this, the four of us.
Yeah.
A lot of
Girls
times they
usually
have it
want
with ice cream on top. They've got specials during the festivals, but just their straight up. Well, I was going to say flat out, and then I was going to say straight up. So I said flate up.
Mm-hmm.
Is one of our favorites. And for me, it's so nostalgic because anytime we used to visit my dad's parents in Rock Hall, Maryland, if we were staying or whatever, like that Sunday morning, my grandfather would make them.
I just started to say we've made them before.
Yeah.
And they're fantastic.
So he would make the batter. I think he literally used like a mix or something, but he had the little red pitcher with the thin spout that was made specifically, and he would weave them through, and we would have funnel cakes for breakfast, which I thought was the greatest thing ever because I don't consider it a breakfast item.
Why not?
I don't know,
like
because it marks everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
French toast, pancake,
again,
falls all under that.
A muffin is just a cupcake without a hat. So, but people count muffins as breakfast. But if you put cream cheese,
cupcake as a breakfast.
But those people don't consider it that. So if you took a muffin and you put like cream cheese on top, you have a cupcake. All right, I'm gonna get you on the next one based on some of your clarifications, because our next item you hold with one hand in your container, but you can't eat it with one hand. Actually, I would like to see you try and eat this with one hand, because it's going to require you to hold with one hand and then use a fork with the other hand to scoop out this goodness. If you do not hold with the hand, you're going to ruin the stability of it, and you're just going to slide it all over the table. What are we talking about at Woody's Lunchbox?
The tachos.
Yeah.
Which is potato barrels.
Yes. Not to be confused with tater tots. We don't want the tater tot folks on us.
Yep. And then bunch of toppings, right?
Yeah. I mean, I can't even remember what's on it. It's been a while, but they're so delicious.
Does it come with a side?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah. So
the kids do then, right?
I feel like
orange.
Yeah, I think so. We haven't eaten at Woody's Lunchbox in so long. Well, and honestly, I don't even know if they're still serving these because they had stopped breakfast.
Okay.
But yeah, these this is another one though. I think you can easily make at home.
Oh yeah.
Get some frozen potato barrels. They may be called tater tots and that's okay if they are. Probably made by a writer or something. I can hear the cease and desist letter being typed up right now. But this is technically a two-handed snack.
That's where we're gonna get into that later with other things. So.
Yeah. Well, the next one is, I think maybe, and I could be wrong, one that people will be like, I didn't know that existed, and I think it could be very underrated. It's the buffalo chicken chips at the Trillo Bites.
Oh, those are really good.
At the entrance to Dino Land. Mm-hmm. And these are crispy hand or kettle chips. Mm-hmm. They're topped with buffalo sauce, shredded chicken. Mm-hmm. I believe it's got ranch and then blue cheese crumbles and some like diced scallions or green onions. I remember getting this one time, and this is very, very shareable. Yes. It's a great, huge portion.
I think it's counted as a meal.
You could. Well, then you get to the point where you say, all right, is a meal just something that fills you up during one of 3 times during the day?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you could go get Gaston cinnamon roll, and that's your full meal breakfast. You could get almost buffalo, get this for buffalo chicken chips for lunch.
Or
and you could get
waffle
sandwich for dinner. And those would be 3 full meals.
Oh,
I mean, really. But
it makes me so full thinking of it.
I would like to see the offer of this where you could get it with either the chips or with fries. Standard theme park fries would do perfectly fine by this one. But
it'd be like a, what do you call it? A poutine?
Yeah, it almost like a buffalo chicken poutine. Here's the thing. All right.
Those
Poutine certainly could count, but we're usually looking at it at some of the refreshment ports and the specialty ones. We've not had the poutine over at the poutine kiosk in Disney Springs, so it's a reason it didn't make the list. I think the problem is now we're living in a world where people just want to classify something as something no matter what's on it. Like, and Canadians, please chime in. Is poutine if it's just putting a bunch of stuff on fries? I mean, I think it should require cheese curds
right?
and gravy.
Okay.
Or could you say it has to have a cheese product and a sauce element? I don't know.
Okay.
That's where I'd like our Canadian friends to chime in maybe and let us know what you classify as poutine, because Americans are like, oh, you got French fries? Yeah, put chili on them and some... Well, no, those would be chili cheese fries. I messed up on that one.
Yeah, you did.
All right, we'll put buffalo chicken on them and blue cheese. That's not poutine. That's buffalo chicken fries.
Okay.
Same, so I want to know the clarification there.
Yeah.
We're clarifying a lot in this one. All right, let's start to get into kind of some of the classics. And honestly, if there almost had to be a number one for me, this would be it because it's so iconic and classic. It's a Mickey pretzel with a side. Oh, no. Did I just ruin it? That's not a side because it has to be eaten as a component. Unless you're just over there just spooning, eating the cheese sauce like a soup.
No, because you can't buy the cheese sauce. Well,
it's Mickey pretzel is a snack, obviously.
Yes,
We're joking. Mickey pretzel, plastic cheese. To me, there really is nothing almost better. You can get into the cream cheese pretzels. Are delicious.
Yes.
We can talk about the Bavarian pretzels at places like in Germany at Baseline Tap House. I think any of these fall under it. I know that Jossie was mentioning there's a toffee pretzel in Tomorrowland over in Disneyland that sounds amazing.
It looks amazing.
She said it has like a marshmallow fluff like dip.
Oh, I want that.
Yeah. The cream cheese one is very, very good.
Yes, it is.
Where do you fall on the scale of loving Mickey pretzels? I feel like you can kind of take them or leave them often.
Yeah, it depends on, what's going on through the day. And if like when we were with Tina at Universal and, and there's a lot of times where I'm like, I need to eat.
Yeah.
And if I need to eat and I'm like, well, we're getting something later, or we're doing this or we're doing that, then I'll be like, all right, well, a pretzel will do me for now.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's one of the best snacks in that sense because it's bread. It's going to fill you up. It's going to sit right in your stomach usually, as opposed to going, I'm going to get a sweet and spicy chicken waffle sandwich because I'm hungry. And then you eat the whole thing and you're like, oh no, I'm going to die. So it does a good job. And what I love is the Mickey pretzel is a super pretzel. Yeah. It's a frozen super pretzel. Because it's shaped like Mickey and you're in Disney, it is 1,000 times more delicious. Because side-by-side comparison, if you did a blind taste test between the Baseline Tap House pretzel and a Mickey pretzel, the Mickey pretzels, you'd be like, what is this garbage? Get this out of my face. Give me the other one.
Oh, yeah, true.
You know what I mean? But it's shaped like Mickey, and that makes it taste better. Things shaped differently taste better. A sandwich, if you take a regular square sandwich, right? And you cut it in...
Are you being serious?
And you cut it in half, and you make 2 rectangles. I personally think that same sandwich tastes better if you cut it diagonally, and then you have 2 triangles. I don't know what it is. I think it has something to do with the surface to crust ratio now that you're getting, but I think it tastes better.
Okay.
I'm telling you, test it next time. If next time you make a sandwich, where isn't really coming anytime soon because we're changing up our lifestyle of eating.
No, I've got stuff coming. That's the to make sandwiches.
What is it made of? Instead
cauliflower.
of bread, it's made of cauliflower. So it's cauliflower bread.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
All right.
Something like that.
We'll report back on that one. I don't know what could go wrong. But yeah, I mean, again, completely iconic. Another absolutely iconic snack is a Mickey shaped bar / ice cream sandwich. I think either
Yes.
one of those.
Oh yeah, either one.
Um,
Those are pretty much my favorites.
Yeah. Is that probably
Like a
one of your all-time
sweet.
favorite snacks?
Yeah,
Sweet snacks?
for a sweet, I guess.
Was it Dove, right?
Yeah.
The chocolate is so good.
Yeah.
And again, I think
it's Nestle, so it's
is it Nestle?
Dove?
Yeah. No, I don't know who owns who anymore. I actually do think the shape of these lends to a better flavor because I like the little areas. The chocolate's a little bit thicker, I feel like, and harder in the areas where like the head meets the ears.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so I don't know, there's something about that ratio again that I think
Being
is
shaped
good.
like Mickey.
Yes. And the ones you can buy in the store, to me, I know they're a little bit smaller. I think they taste the exact same. I think there's a
I
lot
agree.
of people that don't feel like they're as good.
Oh, I think they do.
I just found one when we were cleaning out the
Seriously?
freezer. Yeah, there's still
We
one
can't
in
eat
there. If we just if we look later, nobody will know. We'll just hide in here. We'll turn off the lights. We'll split it. Nobody will know. We'll put a do not disturb sign on the door, and the kids will just think we're recording or something. And then we just eat it. They're small, Rhonda. I'm gonna need it by the end of this week. I have a feeling.
Nope.
Dole Whips, and we're gonna say whips with an S. And this is going to kind of encompass your classic Dole Whip, your swirls, your
Peter Pan
citrus.
floats.
Yeah, your citrus, your Peter Pan floats, your specialty floats. I think anything that's using this combination.
Typhoon Lagoon.
Well, it's any of this combination of fruit flavored whip, right?
Okay.
Is kind of what we're counting.
Okay.
But I do think the classic Dole Whip swirl is probably our favorite.
Yes,
Right?
absolutely. Although that Peter Pan one was
Pan float is so good.
fantastic. It was so refreshing with Sprite
Yeah.
and the
Okay.
what?
I'm gonna get you on this one too, though. How you need to pretty much do the Peter Pan float with both a spoon and a straw. Where are you toting the line of you're just throwing the rules out the window on me at this point?
No,
Where are you toting
don't
the
need
line?
a straw.
I could eat a night blossom with a spoon, and it would hold up well.
You're throwing the rules now.
Okay, so you're classifying Peter Pan float as a snack, not a beverage.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
You got ice cream in it.
Okay, that's fine.
It's like a root beer float.
You have
would be
boba pearls
considered-
in a night blossom, which you eat
Oh,
and
no.
chew.
No, it
All
comes with a giant straw.
I want to hear everybody's thoughts in the clear. But Dole Whip is 100% a snack,
Yeah.
even if we exclude the floats. So it's definitely up there.
But we can't exclude the floats. I don't feel like
Oh, no, that's fine. I think they're snacks.
that's a snack.
I think it's definitely a snack. Popcorn,
Oh,
not only classic popcorn,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll talk about that in a minute. What other popcorn are we probably referring to?
My favorite, and it hasn't come back. I haven't seen at Epcot yet, but it is the sour cream and onion or chive.
Sour cream and chive.
Yes, it's so good. And then Jossie just said to mix that with some buffalo. I have not done that. We did try the buffalo one time, and I was like, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I love that sour cream and chive.
It's so stinking
My
good.
favorite.
It
When it comes back, anytime we go to Epcot, I will be getting it.
Oh yeah, and you can use it in the refillable buckets.
Yes,
as well.
Absolutely.
In the way the kernels are shaped, and when all that seasoning and flavor,
Are they shaped like Mickey?
they should be. I would like to see Imagineers develop a Mickey head popcorn.
Okay.
No, but again, all that seasoning gets trapped in all those little like crevices and nooks and crannies, and it just gives this giant pop of flavor.
Yeah.
We got to talk caramel popcorn though at Caramel Couche.
Oh yeah. Well, we already talked about that. Like
I know, but the bags that you buy
love
me,
that one.
oh, like the ready to go bags.
Mhm.
A lot of them are mixed with different things. Some have pretzels, some have some little bits of chocolate, some have toffee. There is nothing like that caramel.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
We loaded up on some caramel from Universal Studios, and it's good, but the difference is astounding when you think of Caramel Couche.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
highly recommend you stop in there. Rhonda does every time, buys way too much stuff, and then
usually
we
always
almost
eat
can't eat it all. Well, what are some of your other favorites there? Because actually, you could put your turtle on your
I
snack
love my
list,
turtle.
right?
Yeah, I love my turtle. So it's just a pecan, chocolate, and caramel.
Yep.
I love getting the squares because there's 4 of them. and I get them, and Lacey eats a ton of it.
Oh, the sea salt.
But it's sea salt, dark chocolate, milk chocolate, and plain.
Yep.
And it's just fantastic. And that
Outstanding.
plain just chunk of caramel is so good.
Yeah. Caramel
So-
or caramel?
Caramel.
Okay. Caramel.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Potato or potato?
Potato.
What's next? One of your, I think, all-time favorites, especially a specific kind that I don't partake in.
The spring rolls?
Yeah.
The cheeseburger one?
Yeah.
I like it so much.
Yeah.
It's really good. Because then, I mean, something like that, you're getting your meat and you're like without a bun, and it's not a crazy amount of roll.
Mhm.
It's
You get 2 rolls.
you get
I just, I love making the spring or the cheeseburger spring rolls at home, but we omit some things.
Mhm.
I have had bites before that were absolute perfection, but then I might get a bite that has some pickle flavor in it.
and
It's just not a gamble that I'm willing to lose. So I don't take that gamble with those anymore. I love the pizza egg rolls there.
Yeah.
though. Again, you want to talk about simplicity. It's pepperoni, it's mozzarella, rolled up and deep fried in an egg roll with a little marinara dipping sauce on the side. And it is absolutely delicious. Also something great to make at home.
And I like how they're making other ones.
Yeah, we've done a buffalo chicken one.
Yep.
Which was okay.
Mhm.
We didn't love it. I think, if I remember correctly with those, the chicken was so over shredded that it almost just
It
felt
was.
like a big mushy filling,
Yeah.
as opposed to you getting bites of chicken. I would like to see that have either a better, thicker shred or have chunks of chicken.
Yeah.
I think they've done Reuben ones before.
Mhm.
Like, I would like to see them expand and have like an egg roll of the month, like have Philly cheesesteak egg rolls, do some sort of Asian, like true Asian one, like a chicken teriyaki egg roll, or,
That'd be cool.
take some of your different classics maybe. I mean, heck, I would take one that was, well, I guess after you deep fried it, it'd be interesting. The sweet and spicy chicken, like chunks of that with a slaw inside of an egg roll.
Yeah.
I think would
Wow.
be good. Stuff like that I think would be neat to maybe.
If they did that, then Sleepy Hollow waffle sandwich would be kicked out of the snacks.
Yeah, I think so. Do you think it would be better? Do you think a sweet and spicy egg roll would be better than a sweet and spicy chicken waffle sandwich?
Yeah.
I think you would just have to make sure that slaw doesn't like cook, because you want it to have a crunch. You don't want it to end up being
Yeah, I don't know how
like the
that all
texture of
works.
the cabbage at Finnegan's. I'm sorry. One more jab. That's it. A classic, which can come in so many flavors, so many styles, so many looks. You often pick one up to bring it back as a reward for your mom, I think.
My
Her
mommy
reward
loves
being
them.
she had to raise you. The girls absolutely
Great,
love them.
thanks.
They're wonderful to share. And honestly, you often need to eat the whole thing in a sitting so they don't go bad.
Caramel
Well,
apples.
chocolate or
Any of the apples,
I'd
but
say.
honestly, going back to the caramel coochie, like it's really those caramel apples are
Yeah.
almost the best.
Yeah.
But I do love how anywhere you get it and it's chocolate, or like the Mickey ones that have the marshmallow
Yeah.
ears. Those are fantastic. And if you actually cut it right and then put it in like a Ziploc bag, the apple really doesn't turn brown
Yeah.
as quick.
Yeah.
Get all the
kinda
air
give it-
out. Get all the air out, and
You can even put a little lemon juice on it. Like if you're at home or if you're at Disney, you might even be able to get lemon juice, little packets at a quick service. Just get a little bit of that on it. But yeah, get all the air out of the bag if you
Yep.
want to save them. The one of those things. All right, here's something you took for granted, I think, pre-COVID. Them cutting the apple for you.
oh,
I don't know that
yeah.
they've currently brought it back.
Mm-mm.
As of the last time we bought an apple there, not that long
Mm-mm.
ago,
Mhm.
they had not brought it back.
Correct.
They will not cut them for you.
Yep, but they used to, and that was
Yeah.
really cool because then, like one time we did with my parents and our whole family, and we each got like a bite or
Yeah.
two, and then that was it, and we got to throw the stick away and didn't have to worry about. It was so good.
Yeah, because otherwise you get back to your room and maybe you've got a plastic knife that's not going to cut it, and you're just staring at this apple like, how do I get this inside of me?
Well, and you
Because you can't
like,
just gnaw on it. Like,
I mean,
especially
well,
if
maybe
you're sharing.
children can,
Yeah.
but older
You'd lose
people,
a tooth, I
yeah.
think. But yeah, so like them cutting it was great. Now you might be able to go some of the quick services that have maybe actual silverware at some of the places. You could go and probably get a knife and cut it up, you know, with a butter knife, but still. And of course, if you're traveling on a plane, you can't have a knife on you. So
No,
like,
you
you
have to wait till you get home. It travels very well.
They do. They wrap them up really, really well.
As long as it's not summer and you got to carry it in the heat for quite some time. Think about that. Yep.
And then finally on our list, and again, this was absolutely no particular order. This is a staple for us at Animal Kingdom, specifically at the Ana Dupar, I think it is, truck.
Mm-hmm.
The ice cream truck. It's the soft serve ice cream.
Yeah.
And when they have some of their specialties,
they have been incredible.
Yeah.
I love it.
But their straight up vanilla is just the absolute.
Absolutely.
best.
And that's honestly, we'll just go ahead and say across property, any soft serve ice cream across property to me is a snack and one of my favorites.
Yeah. It's another one of those, I think, for me, like the funnel cakes. It has a nostalgia. I grew up in very small town, but it had, and probably anybody potentially that lives in Maryland or visits Maryland maybe knows about this place called Jimmy Cone.
Oh, yeah. You've told me about that.
I've taken you there, I think.
I started to say.
Yeah, so Jimmy Cone was this tiny little ice cream shop in Damascus, Maryland. And up there we call them Jimmy's. The sprinkles are called Jimmy's. And it was a walk-up window and basically was almost like a parking lot. And then it had some tables to the side on a mulched area. And, families would go there like once a week or a day after school. And you get a soft serve cone with Jimmy's on top. And it was just like the best thing ever. Mm-hmm. And that's what this reminds me of. It's just that perfectly creamy and flavorful soft serve ice cream. And the simplicity, I think, is what makes it so good. Just like most of what I would consider some of our favorite snacks, like a pretzel, a Mickey bar, the Dole Whip, the popcorn, ice cream, caramel apples. The simplicity sometimes and the nostalgia of them, I think, makes them that much more delicious.
Yeah.
And if they're shaped like Mickey, obviously.
Of course.
We've already done scientific research and tests extensively on that.
Yeah.
Now imagine getting a Mickey-shaped sandwich. It'd probably taste better. see if they can do that. I don't want them to genetically have to engineer my meats and cheeses and stuff in the shapes of Mickey's. So maybe that wouldn't be the best thing.
That would be funny.
Couple others, they don't really make our list. I know a lot of people love the Cheshire Cattail over there by Mad Tea Party. That one is definitely good. It was on our original kind of list, and then it just didn't really make the top 15. But it's crazy because you really start to look, and you can go to a lot of the resorts and get wonderful things. You know what's really good? The tie-dye cheesecake at Pop Century.
Yeah.
Is wonderful, and people love that thing. Like, people stay at Pop Century just for ease of getting that cheesecake.
Really?
I don't know why, because it's not even the best cheesecake, but something about it
we've had it before.
You just love. Would you consider, if you go to a quick service and all you get is a side of fries, is that considered a snack?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love some theme park fries.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah. 100%.
So yeah, things like that. You
go to Casey's Corner and get
get corn dog.
The little ones.
The little nuggets.
There you go. Snack.
There you go. Good snack. Again, just not making our top list, but there are so many wonderful snacks across property. Of course, as always, we will post this episode in the Main Street Magic community on Facebook. So we want to hear from you. I feel like we have lots to discuss and break down from this episode on everything that we've talked about. So I'd love to hear your responses below in that. When I post that, as well as out on Main ST Magic on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, things like that. You can always hit us up, magic@mainstmagic.com with questions, thoughts, anything like that. You're already on a computer. You're on your phone. So hit that subscribe button and get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. And as long as you're out there, would you pretty please leave us a rating and review?
Because it helps our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.